What's up, guys? Welcome back to the SLTV Pro Series 11. This is going to be game number 2 between DT and LC. This time, going to be joined by a special co-caster. Got EGAD here. How are you doing, man?
Doing well. It's pretty early in the morning, but I'm ready to go. Saw that last game, and LC pretty dominant in the beginning part of it, and then, you know, just once they got the brood going, once they got the Lycan pushing, it was pretty easy for them, to say the least.
And DT not really performing the best with their team fights, with the exception of that really chaotic one in the Roshan pit, which lasted for like 4 buybacks or something like that. The Ravages, or the Ravage that counted down the bottom lane, was a whiff, and, well, I mean, when you whiff one, then it doesn't really set a great precedent for the rest of them. So maybe DT looking to change things up a little bit, but, I mean, they were pretty much as prepared as they could have been most of the time for LC. They just couldn't get everything together.
No, I mean, once that happens, it's kind of just like a systematic breakdown. You're just like, okay, we can't fight at all. Let's just think about the next game and hold off as long as we can and just strategize and think about the next draft. But coming into this draft, they've already switched up just a bit. The Viper Brewmaster ban, pretty standard bans. The Ember Spirit and the Vengeful Spirit as well, pretty standard to themselves, and they just snag up Ogre Magi. And I mean, the pickup from LC already is just very scary. Juggernaut IO is like, you haven't really seen Juggernaut paired with IO at all this patch, but just Juggernaut alone is actually insane, especially if you go for the Blade Dance Mask of Madness build into Manta.
Yeah, this patch, or even the previous patch, I don't know if I've seen an IO Juggernaut, but, you know, back when people were first experimenting with IO, this used to be one of those combos, and it used to work pretty darn well. If you just relocate right next to someone, you could straight up Omni Slash them, and, well, that'll probably get you a kill. Or just start spinning, and that will also probably get you a kill, especially if you jump onto someone like Ancient Apparition. But for DT, Ogre Magi AA, it's a kind of similar opening, as you just swap out Ogre Magi with the Witch Doctor, a little bit more bulk, but I think they're mostly just going to keep their options open moving into the secondary phase. London Conspiracy, though, not with the Axe, not with the TA, as those are both banned out. They're probably just going to look to pick up some supports, and right now, no real supports just absolutely screams out to me. As far as partnering up with Juggernaut IO, you could go with pretty much anyone and be okay.
You would really want the Vengeful Spirit for the wave, but I mean, in terms of an X support, like IO already gets shut down by AA, so another healing support wouldn't really be the best, because Ice Blast really counters out that overcharge quite a bit. Jakiro, gives him a bit of push, and I mean, with this early kind of pickup in the Jakiro and Juggernaut's healing ward too, gets some really good push for itself. So could see a return of the Lycan if they really wanted to go for that. Jakiro overall is just very strong. If he wants to go off lane, if he wants to go for the tri lane with the Jug IO, good workout. Ice Path is nice for, you know, lining up the spin to win. And the bans to follow up were the Axe and the TA from DT, and then the Queen of Pain and the Puck. So looking to not get assassinated this game is LC, taking out those big Magic Burst heavy mid laners.
Well, for DT, they're going to grab the Faceless Void. That's the hero that we expected to see in the last game with a Witch Doctor and Ancient Apparition already on the field. Faceless Void is pretty darn good against IO Juggernaut. Hell, he's good against everyone. That's what Void does. He's not good versus early pressure, though. London Conspiracy, their secondary support is going to be Lion, so much like last game, I would expect to see Jakiro head towards the off lane, this time defensive tri-lane probably, Juggernaut IO Lion, just looking for a mid lane now, LC. Having a fast response to the Faceless Void Time Walk is going to be great for LC. If you Time Walk in, you usually expect to get that Chronosphere off, but not when there's a Hex waiting for you, so LC, they're not really the most aggressive team just yet, but that could change at the drop of a hat. Again, I still like the Lycan here. If you send them towards the mid lane, they could get a lot of pushing done. Of course, Vlad's Healing Ward and Tether all being cancelled by Ancient Apparition ult, it's not the best, but really it's unavoidable at this point.
Yeah, I mean, if they're split up at any point, if like IO's with another person, like if they go for like a tiny mid here, that'd be fine too, because you could have IO do it with that, and then Jakiro could offlane, and Juggernaut Lion could be a 2-pair themselves. Actually, I'm not too sure what I'm looking at from LC's side, because the Jakiro offlane's okay, but it's not really going to shut down the Void. Like, Jakiro also has to worry, even with high base armor and a little bit of extra regen, it's still pretty rough to deal with the Ogre. And the AA is going to be like just jungling, pulling nonstop. So I don't know. I kind of like DT's draft right now, just a little bit more than LC's. So what else could they pick up here? I mean, tied again, it could work. I mean, it just guaranteed them some safety, and like it's hard to deal with them. But they go for the Zeus instead, so they pick up the mid laner, and that's pretty good against the Ion Lion. I gotta say, like, Lion definitely doesn't have the highest amount of HP early on. Zeus has got the LR6, and the God's Wrath here is just really good at scouting out if they're gonna go for like any relocates too.
And even up against Juggernaut, like, he does have spin so that he could dodge some of that damage. But if you catch him without spin, if you stun him or something, then he's not too durable either. So DT with the Zeus, they're gonna have a lot of magical damage amplified by the AA, the vortexes as well, and that could really hurt London Conspiracy. Also, just expecting an IO to relocate in, you could burst down IO so quickly as Zeus, really no matter who he relocates in with. So DT also have a minor global strategy going on here. Ancient Apparition, Zeus, I don't think it's going to get to a point where they could just instantly snipe out someone from across the map, but who knows? IOs might not have... IO doesn't always have the best game, so we might see that, but I probably wouldn't hold my breath.
It's more of a if they're hit by Ice Blast kind of thing, like finish them off with the Wrath, if anything. I mean, that like global composition is okay. I mean, if they get like Prophet, Nature's Prophet or something like that, they synergize with it too, then by all means just go for it. That'd be pretty nifty. But then again, they're missing on like a hard tank. So we see the Bristle get banned away. We see the Slark get banned away as well. And I could see like LC with Puck God actually. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna go for mid yet. Unless it's like some weird Lion mid, but I highly doubt that. They could still go for the IO pairing and the Tiny, but I like IO Jug here still. It's weird.
I mean, you pick up IO Juggernaut as your first two pickups. That's going to mean that you have a lot more priority with them, or you have a lot more interest in grabbing those two as a combo. So I would expect it to be IO Juggernaut. Shadow Fiend is not the hero that I expected.
No.
Up against Zeus, that is not really the hero that you want. Of course, it is very capable for Shadow Fiend to kill off Zeus, but like Shadow Fiend is generally a glass cannon, and Zeus is really good at breaking cannons.
Yeah, and Ogre can just like early shut him down with a good roam, and then Broodmother's gonna run up the DT lineup. So I mean, these supports are gonna have a tough time dealing with Brood. Juggernaut doesn't really have the most kill potential on him, and that early Axe ban I guess was indicative that they were gonna go for the Brood. But all right, they're gonna pick everything up. We're gonna head into the game, and I mean, this is an interesting draft to say the least from LC. And I mean, SF and IO is pretty good, like late game. Juggernaut can handle his own. I don't think it's gonna be a dual lane with the SF though. Like he needs way too much to like speed. IO needs to be stacking that jungle for him too, just in case he does get like screwed over in lane.
Yeah, I would expect Shadow Fiend to take the mid lane solo. Might get a little bit of help from a support from time to time, assuming he's doing poorly up against the Zeus. And generally with the Zeus on the field, you could assume that your Shadow Fiend is not gonna have the best of times. But for the most part, I would expect Shadow Fiend to be playing solo, Jakiro to be playing solo, and then the rest of LC to be doing their own thing no matter where they decide to go. But we're in Game 2 now. LC up 1-0 in this best of 3. We'll see if DT can bring it back to a Game 3, but after last game, LC looking pretty darn good. We'll see if this Shadow Fiend IO Lion picks could bring them home. It's going to be Spartan playing the IO for the LC side. Relax is going to be playing the Juggernaut, heading up towards top for now. Keezer is going to be playing the Shadow Fiend mid, I assume. Spartan going to help him clear out some trees for stacking later on. Madra's going to be playing Jakiro solo bottom lane, it looks like, and that leaves Skanks on the Lion.
Yeah, and then on the DT side, we got Anba on your Brood, and then on the Void, trying to carry this one up will be Doombringer. We'll have General on the Zeus, and then Too Easy for Breezy on the AA, and then Bogdan on your Ogre. So this is... I gotta say, I like DT's draft a little bit more than the LC side, but we'll see. That SF has the potential to just completely get crushed in the mid lane, or just snowball it out of control and to have like a 15-minute BKB and be perfectly fine and just push everything down. So we'll have to see, but the battle for the first rune looks like it could be pretty big over here from both sides if Doombringer overextends. So they're spotted by the war. They set out Spartan first, and Chilling Touch. Lots of good damage to come off from that. Spike. Oh, can they find AA? No, they missed the first raise. Oh, jeez. And okay, LC get both of those bounty runes, and Spartan just takes it right in front of Doombringer's face.
Well, even though they have a Lion here, and he didn't take Hex, and really that's the skill that you want if you're really low on crowd control. They have damage there, like they have the spin, they have Shadow Fiend, or I guess not that much damage there, but they have more than enough damage to kill off DT, but just not enough crowd control. So either way, it's going to be LC to grab both of the bounty runes, so after all is said and done, it is them to come away with the victory. It is also kind of bold of them to try to get into a man fight with an Ancient Apparition at level 1. Chilling Touch is a dangerous skill at level 1. Bogdan can run to the 2 supports, but again, lack of crowd control, at least at this level, this point in time for the Lion, that's not going to happen. So it's going to take a little while for these lanes to really get settled in, but for starters, I would say, General obviously going to have a good time versus Keezer. Bottom lane, Broodmother pseudo dual lane. Bogdan with boots first probably just is going to be roaming around a lot, just trying to mess with the IO, trying to mess with the Lion. Don't know how successful he's actually going to be though.
Yeah, the IO already got one stack at least on the hard camp. Kind of missed the second one, and it is going to be the duo mid. So I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I guess, like I said, stacking the camps is going to be the most important thing. And at least it'll guarantee that Kaiser won't die. That's the big thing. As long as the SF isn't dying in lane, he's doing his job. And Zeus has good burst, but not much consistent damage. So we'll see. We'll see. He's Bogdan's trying to position to get something in this lane, but with the IO always here, it's going to be tough.
Well, right now, IO doesn't have a bottle yet, so his contribution is going to be extremely limited. He's going to spot out and block out Bogdan. Actually, Bogdan now getting blocked by creeps, taking a lot of damage from the tower and a couple right clicks from the Shadow Fiend. That's definitely not what the plan was there for DT, but they're not going to lose anyone just yet. The IO being here means that Bogdan is going to be able to, first of all, not have to go for a bottle. Spartan's going to grab that one, and then you get the bottle tether value there. But Keezer's also going to be able to, spam out everything, go for a little bit more of a different item build just because he has gold to spend that's not bottle. He's going to rush up the Ring of Aquila right now, and this is a reasonable way to go. It's going to mean that Juggernaut's not going to have the best of times, but he's only up against a Faceless Void, Ancient Apparition. That's not really a dangerous lane. At least it's a lane that Juggernaut can certainly handle, or at least not get crushed by.
Yeah, he even took a point in stats too, so trying to just go for a little bit more lane survivability. And I mean, he's also got the hard camp that he can pull too into the lane, since the lane is always pushing up for him. And I mean, he's not in a bad position. He's gonna get solo XP too. He's trying to match the Broodmother, but not in terms of farm. Just as long as he gets the XP is okay. And Spartan, he's getting denied from pulling it 4th time, so Bogdan's doing some point of his job there, but at the same time, he might just be dead, as there's the second raise looking for the 3rd. No, the last auto attack comes in from Spartan. There you go. Bogdan getting shut down there as he was trying to deny the IO some camp stacking.
As tanky as the Ogre is, we gotta remember that Shadow Fiend is a glass cannon. He doesn't, he's not really packing the most damage right now, wasn't even full up on souls, but he has level 2 raise, and those raises, you have so many of them, they do so much damage if you get hit by them, and there's not really many places the Ogre can go in that position, so he is going to be the first blood being fed over to the IO. I guess that's not as bad as it could be, but over towards bottom lane, Madra's in quite a bit of trouble, got ignited. Anba does not have enough mana for an injection though, and Bogdan is not going to get that kill. Madra's going to be perfectly safe. They're going to try to chase forward for a little bit more. Spirit Balls from the Wisp not going to do anything at all, but it's going to be Madra to survive a situation where he probably shouldn't have been able to survive. Broodmother gone for the Ring of Bassi instead of the straight up Soul Ring, so if she had just a little bit more mana, that could have been a very easy kill.
Yeah, that kind of is interesting to me. I don't know why she went straight Ring Bassi. Like, early Soul Ring in any situation is great for her. And like you said, she had a lot of kill potential there, but I guess just looking for that extra bit of armor. I don't know why against Shakiro, but sure. Whatever works for her. Or him, excuse me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we could use any pronouns talking about the Broodmother and people will know what we're talking about, but still, Broodmother, I don't really know why she was so low on mana. Oh, over towards mid though. General is gonna be just fine, never mind. Spamming out your Spiderling, generally what you want to do, though up against a Jakiro, and at this point they should know that Jakiro has placed a little bit more than just 1 point into the Dual Breath. It's not really going to get them very far. Like a single Dual Breath, once it's level 3 or something, can wipe out most of the Spiderling wave, so the Broodmother, don't really know why she was low on mana either way. She's going to get her tower pushed, as to be expected, like with the Jakiro in the field, in the lane. Your tower is going to take quite a beating, and really, Broodmother, she's good at pushing, but she's not good at counter pushing. She is actually really terrible. This is where she's at her worst, so Madra is going to have free reign over this lane until someone else comes over here, but Bogdan is over in mid, and top lane, that's not going to happen either. They're going to try to go for Anba. Do they have True Sight? Looks like they do have enough damage, maybe. Anba Not
Nah.
quite going to go down. Actually, now it's Mado to get stuck by the stupid range creeps, but they'll take down the tower regardless. Anba going to escape. It's a successful push for LC.
Yeah, so I'll talk about them, and she kind of moved into the Sentry Ward range too, so misplay by the Brood there, but either way, she stays alive, but the first tier 1 goes down in the bot side, so, I mean, this duo lane is working out really well for LC right now. Like, Lion and Jakiro, you would think would have a really tough time against Brood, but they're doing pretty well. General DCing out, so they kind of need him to come back in, so quick pause, but in terms of farm, like, the SF is on top, and, I mean, the middle roam plan kind of backfired, and he just cleared out this 4 stack here, so he is sitting pretty.
And Shadow Fiend, if he gets a Blink Dagger or Shadow Blade or BKB, any one of those big 3 items, he could just go for Power Treads if he really wants to.
Shadow Blade wouldn't be the best option here.
Yeah, that's true, up against Void and
Zeus,
Probably don't want to be going for that, but yeah, if he does just get a big item, it looks like he's well on his way to getting said big item. It's going to be really hard for DT. I mean, already we see that LC, they have more than enough to push the towers. If they have just a little bit more in the tank to fight should the push go south, they're going to be A-okay. And it's over towards top lane where Relax is going to be in the most trouble. Thunder God's Wrath is going to be dropped. They are going to fall just short. Arc is 50 experience away from a Chronosphere. You hate to see that kind of thing happen.
Yeah, that sucks. That's just a little crushing, but I mean, I guess that's, I don't know why he's not level 6 yet, but he's kind of been sharing XP with Too Easy for quite a while, so I guess that could be hurting him a bit. But Relax, he's almost level 6. He's about 100 XP, I'd say, ahead against Anbo, so he's doing okay in that aspect, and level 1 healing ward should keep him relatively safe in this lane for now.
Thought Mado's gonna die, looks like. He does have a Lion who's approaching, but getting body blocked, and I honestly don't know why he was all the way up here just by himself. That generally isn't a place where you want to be as a Jakiro, so got jumped and is going to be brought down. Second kill of the game. It's an acceptable loss for LC. Again, Jakiro, as long as you're getting Liquid Fire levels up, you're going to be fine, and they already took down a tower. It's, I would say, a matter of time before they look to a different lane to push. I don't think there's any huge trigger as to, you know, them switching over and pushing a lane, but really they could do it pretty much whenever they want to.
Yeah, I mean, they should be looking to maybe group up early here. Honestly, like, Ray's clear, you have Liquid Fire, and then like Jug can just dive with Omni Slash. Albeit it's level 1 Omni Slash, only 3 jumps, but still, you can provide like a really solid presence if they really wanted to push hard right now. But I'm kind of stuck in the tree line. There's no web over there for him to get out. So he's just gonna micro the Spiderlings, and that's a fair chunk of change that he's giving over. Oh boy. Up top,
Relax is gonna get a Chronosphere. He got killed in like 3 hits because Faceless Void, first of all, hits very hard. Second of all, hits very hard with Chilling Touch. Mado's getting chased down by spiders who will be brought down, actually. Even through the Macro Pyre, those Spiderlings will survive. And now Skank's getting chased down by Small Army as well. That's 2 kills for DT across the map. Looks like Anba doesn't need to be able to move around to get those kills. Jakiro, he does have a decent amount of armor with the boots that he has, plus the Ring of Basilius, but those Spiderlings do just so much damage, especially if they're stacked up.
Phase boots.
You don't know how many there are.
Goodbye. No, wow. Okay, so Doombreaker, really well played on the Void. They're moving up and taking that extra slash that would have killed off Too Easy right there. Really well played by him.
First Omni Slash used, and as you said, level 1 Omni Slash, not really the best skill. If you're hitting just one hero, usually you could get it done, but if it's split at all, then generally that kill's not going to happen. We do see Spartan. He is just here. He's not relocated here. He just wandered up here. He's looking for that pick off on Too Easy. Is not going to find it. Although he's fanning out with his illusions, they might actually find him right now. It's a possibility. It's a very slim one, but Too Easy. He's going to be spotted, and he should be just fine unless Relax wants in.
No way
level
they're
1 Blade Fury, though. It'll be hard
yeah.
to kill him off, and Too Easy's going to be just fine. They're going to try to go for the Faceless Void, but that's not going to happen either. Meantime, Broodmother's taking another kill in bottom lane. Madra's stuck in the trees. He's going to be shot down by an injection. Anba going to claim a double down towards bottom, whereas for top lane, nothing happened.
Yeah, I mean, like, Too Easy TP'd out, and the balls were just at a range to hit him, and, man, this Jakiro, he's playing it way too far up, man, without any supports or anything like that. And he's got to know that by now Bogdan is going to be camping him out. Like, there's no reason for him not to suspect that, considering that the Ogre hasn't shown himself anywhere else on the map. And Kaiser right now, he's going for the early mech rush, so going for that supportive and sustainy kind of Shadow Fiend. I mean, the AA, once he's level 6 and has Ice Blast online, that item pretty much is null and void once Ice Blast is applied. So we'll see how he uses it.
Right, and LC, they're still not just going to shift over to a lane and try to take a tier 1. Once the mech is up, then that should be the trigger for them to go for some sort of push. By that time, they should be close to Slash, if not outright having it. But, I mean, every time the Jakiro goes down to the bot lane, it is the easiest lane for the Ogre to gank. Like, you're probably going to be a little bit less likely to gank a Juggernaut just with Blade Fury. It's a little bit harder to do, and Shadow Fiend has been pseudo-jungling the entire time, so he's always in a safe position. Jakiro going down just one too many times, 3 deaths, pretty bad for him, and that just lets Amba recover more and more. He's going to go for Madra. So many Spiderlings, I have no idea how many. They're going to put a lot of damage to Madra. Liquid Fire, all of the AoE that Jakiro has might not even be enough. Amba's going to try to dive the tower through Macro Fire. That's a little bold of him. He's going to go down before he gets the kill on Madra. Thunder God's Wrath, though, will make it an even 1-for-1. Man, you do not want to sit in the Macro Fire, but he just barely got it done, I suppose. He did not get the experience for that one, but you know, sometimes shit happens. In the meantime, top lane is being pushed. There is a Chronosphere available here, so LC, they have to be very, very careful. Healing Ward level 1, it's nice, but there is an Ice Blast up in 10 seconds. They're going to take the tower, and it looks like DT, they're going to not make any sort of defense. They might have to make a defense for the next tier 2, but with the Jakiro offline, this push from LC is not that dangerous.
I mean, like, take the tier 1 back up, just go mid and do the same thing, rinse and repeat. Pushing tier 2 is going to be a little bit harder, seeing as how, like you said, Ice Blast and Chronosphere are online. So, I mean, this is a really big SF right now. 93 creeps at 11 minutes. He's doing a really good job of farming. Those stacks helped him out a ton. And still haven't seen him use the mech just yet, and they should be looking to take down this tier 1 mid pretty easily. Thunder God's Wrath is down for 30 more seconds too. And we'll see. We do have Doombringer lining up for a Chronosphere right now. Pops the Mask of Madness, goes in. It's only a 1-man though. Finds Madara, does a bunch of damage to him. Ice Blast is going to connect in through this one on Spike with the relocate. It's going to actually keep the SF safe. Macropyre and Omni Slash doing so much damage. General's going to get chased down with his DD rune. He's not going to be able to lay any audio text though. And spin into Witten. Relax. Can he get it? No. General is way too fast right now. Relocating back out into this fight though is Spartan. He does get blown up as soon as he does. They kill the SF, and even with that passive coming out, he doesn't take anyone with him, and that's a 2-for-2.
Man, it looked a lot worse for LC, but that IO playing like freaking Superman. First of all, bailing the Shadow Fiend out because he was trapped in between a whole bunch of heroes and a tower and then a Chronosphere, so there's really nowhere you could go with that. But IO blinking him out of there and then blinking himself out to safety. I don't know if that was intentional with the cooldown to relocate, but either way, it worked out for him. It's going to be a 2-for-2, but DT, they were fighting a 4v5 right now, and Spartan, he's going to go down to the bottom lane, but take a lot of damage. In fact, Huntress is zeroed. Oh man, Madra's actually here as well. That's not where you want to be, Jakiro. You probably shouldn't be there. That's not a good place. Spiderlings, just going to fall short. It looks like Jakiro's going to survive. But man, wait, no.
Ice Blast?
The snipe.
Oh, this is a long range. Goodbye.
Headshot. Ancient Apparition is going to snag the Jakiro. LC, they fight decently well in the middle lane, but they don't take down the tower. They lose a whole bunch of heroes, now making it overall, I guess you could say, a 4-for-2. DT doing extraordinarily well over the course of the past couple minutes.
Yeah, that was interesting. That fight, to say the least. I mean, it was a solo Croto out to the Jakiro, and he just didn't really wasn't too much of a factor in that last fight. So, the team play from DT is looking a little lacking, but the Thunder God's Wrath and the synergy with the solo Broodmother seem to be on point right now. I mean, once Doombringer has some more items, I guess, like, he'll be able to land multi-man Chronos, because it seems like LC are kind of staying a little too clumped up at this point. But DT, gotta give them props. They're playing this really well.
It also kind of does help when the enemies are constantly running straight into a giant army of spiders. Like, again, it's hard to see. It's almost impossible to see how many Spiderlings there are, but it's probably safer to assume that there are a lot, always. So Broodmother's getting a whole bunch of free kills. Like, she's not working hard for them at all. In fact, they're just falling right into her lap. And, well, the more you feed to the Broodmother, it's not going to be, the hugest factor, but it's going to mean that you have to invest more and more heroes down to where the Broodmother is over the course of the game. And at a certain point, one hero down there just isn't going to be enough, no matter who it is. And then 2 heroes you have to invest. And then I guess just to be a very slippery slope. LC, they're not going to be slowed down by the past series of events, though. They're going to take this tier 1 tower down. Arc does have that Chronosphere up, looking for an angle right now, but gets hit with a couple raises. Suddenly is no longer willing to jump in, at least not as willing. They might catch Keyser here. There's a Chronosphere, but they take down the tower with Liquid Fire. Keyser still has the mech. He's going to drop very low, though. He's going to have to use the mech, and he will. He's going to get burst down. Multicast is there. Keyser not going to relocate it out. Chronosphere is going to catch Spartan, but it won't have any follow-up. Ice Blast will fly through and kill off that IO in the end. Here comes Skanks and Relax on the back end. They'll impale too easy. Couple chops from Relax. That's going to be a third kill for LC. And Bogdan, he's going to try to fight his way out of this. Now he's just going to turn around and book it. No more crowd control here, but I mean, it's a 3 for 2. That's perfectly reasonable for DT because they also took down the bottom tier 2 in the meantime. This Broodmother is such a huge problem for LC, and they need to take such a better fight than what they just took if they're going to let Broodmother have free reign over their bottom lane.
Yeah, going 3 for 2 in a 4 versus 5 scenario, not really the best situation for them. And I mean, Anba, he's got like complete control of this map right now. Once he has Orchid too, it's going to be near impossible to fight him, as a one person at least. Like, you need at least 2 or 3 people to kill him. Especially when you don't have vision either. You need more dust, you need more sentries, and I mean, at some point, they're gonna have to deal with her. I mean, she's gonna keep pushing any side lane. She could just go up top if she really wanted to, lay out her webs and get the spiraling army going. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, Pink's on a Roshan already coming out, so the Void can solo this one at this point. He's got the mask, and it looks like he's farming up his mana.
They're going to try to go for Anba right now. Ice Path set up. Is there a Finger of Death? No, there isn't. They're going to have more than enough damage anyway, though. Broodmother going to drop. Here comes an Ice Blast. Will connect onto actually 2 heroes. That didn't look like it was going to hit. Skank's in a lot of trouble here. Actually, no, actually with that many Spiderlings, yeah, he's in a little bit of trouble. He should be fine with an Impale clearing absolutely everything. That's a lot of gold going the way of LC. That's the type of play that they needed to do when the Broodmother was still trying to take down a tier 1, but maybe a little late, who knows. It's still going to be a kill for LC, and with the Yule Scepter, they have now shown off that they have enough damage to kill off a Broodmother without a Finger of Death. If they do have a Finger, easy walk in and kill.
Coming into mid, and there's the Yules from Madara going out to the Ogre. Bogdan going to take so much damage here. Raises galore, and the last auto attack from Kaiser comes in and picks up that one. They're looking for too easy. He's just a little too fast with Tricle Boots. Even not activated, he's walking up Storm. 355 movement speed, Jesus. And now they're going to turn around. They have the slows, and they have a lot of bursts coming in from General. He's ready to pop the clap, but doesn't look like he'll find it. They do find Relax, though, in the meantime. They'll throw in the Ice Blast 2 for the kill, and nope, it'll be Arc actually getting that one. And the web has been laid, and Amba still looking to chase this one out. They keep overextending here from the LC side. Going to channel up that Soul Requiem, and they do a bunch of damage and turn around to the Doombringer. That Minotaur, the Centaur, excuse me, actually helping out with a stomp. And they kill the Void. What the hell is this game?
Bogdan's going to teleport right in. Anba, in the meantime, stuck in the trees. They do have True Sight, and they will bring down the Brood. Keyser's still pretty low right now, but Spartan alive with that bottle is now out of charge, out of Magic Sticks. Looks like LC, they have run out of gas. That was pretty much the worst fight that you could ask for if you're LC, when you're just shuffling back and forth, thinking about, should we engage, should we back off, should we engage, should we back off? All the while, the Zeus is just constantly picking you apart with those lightning bolts. So LC, they have to be a lot more decisive about when and where they're going to fight. It is kind of understandable that they were hesitant just because they lost the Juggernaut, they lost the Omni Slash, they lost the Healing Ward, they lost everything the Juggernaut has to offer, but it's not the situation you want to be in, where you're in close quarters with the Zeus who is not under any pressure.
I mean, that was like the best I could hope for in that fight too. They killed the Bird and the Faceless Void. Like that's the 2 main targets you want to take down. The Zeus they can deal with later on once like they can find a good Yules from Madara on the Jakiro. So I mean that was literally the best of like the worst case scenario for them. So I gotta say, despite how sloppy this game is, LC they're kind of clawing their way back in. I mean, Kaiser, he's gonna have his BKB very, very soon. Just 300 more gold, or about 400 more gold for him, and he'll have it. So
they're gonna set up on Zeus over in mid. There's an Ice Path, Macro Power to land. Keyser though getting hit with an Ice Blast. Mechanism is gonna do nothing. Thunder God's Wrath not available. Keyser is going to take a lot of damage, but I think he will just barely be fine. He will be able to mech up, and he has Io coming in with a couple bottle charges as well. So there is no Thunder God's Wrath being invested just yet, but they still have a Finger of Death, LC. They do not have a Juggernaut here, so probably they don't want to go for this, but this really isn't supposed to be where they're going to be struggling to fight right now. The Zeus is doing so much work for DT, and Broodmother right back onto the bottom lane. If LC, don't get anything done in this mid lane, the longer they stall out, the better it's going to be for DT.
Yeah. Actually, I kind of want to say the only late game that DT have right now is the Faceless Void. Like until the Zeus has Ag's Refresher, it's not that scary. But I mean, the SF is online. He's got his BKB. The Juggernaut has his mask and looking for his Ags. I mean, once he has Ags too, like this Juggernaut becomes much scarier. It becomes, what is it, 15 jumps, I believe, with Ags, so it is going to be tough to deal with in general. Getting caught out there. Going to see a silence in onto Shanks as well. They're going to do so much damage to him right now. He pops his wand charges. They relocate in Kaiser, who's going to pop the Requiem, and it's going to do a bunch of damage, and Amba does fall. Io will pick up that one, and trading a Lion for the Broodmother, take that any day of the week.
They didn't have to deal with a huge Broodling army either. Kaiser's just going to get relocated in, and Shadow Fiend Io, definitely not the most devastating combo, but when there's nowhere to run as the Broodmother, you can't really do anything. In the meantime, over towards mid, Relax. Going to get a Chronosphere reserved just for him, and I think that's a perfectly reasonable usage of Chronosphere at this point. Spartan actually going to show his face as well. There's still Mask Madness up on Arc, and they're going to cancel out the tether away from Spartan. He's going to get annihilated. BKB is now up from the Shadow Fiend, but he doesn't have any way of locking down these enemy heroes, so he's not going to do anything but just a couple of right clicks. LC, I mean, they always take these seemingly nice engagements, but then fall apart straight after. First, it was that, you know, feed over of 2 kills over towards the bottom lane Broodmother. Now it's feeding over a couple of kills towards the mid lane. LC, they just have to tighten up the screws just a little bit because, you know, 1 kill is, you know, in itself isn't really too bad, but you feed over 1 and then 1 and then 1 and then 1, then things get really bad really quickly.
Yeah, jeez. So, I wasn't really talking about Void for a while, but he's got his Maelstrom. Once he has his BKB too, like, he'll be able to just mow down this lineup from LC, so gotta watch for him just a bit. He's a little bit behind on the farming aspect. Then, you know, it's kind of hard to keep up with an SF who can clear the jungle really, really fast and just destroy waves as well as get those Spiderling kills, but no one going for Roshan either. Like, they're playing it really safe, and these skirmishes really kind of keeping off that idea of Roshan, and they keep scouting it out too with the Ice Blasts from DT, but I mean, they're going to move up, and didn't really talk about it, but Zeus is great at keeping those wards cleared out from the LC side, so that's what you see in Thunderbolt around all over the place on the ground.
And with the Yule Scepter and Force Staff and Arcane Boots and Bottle, I mean, he has enough mana regeneration and then some just to randomly throw out lightning bolts. If you think that there's a slight chance you're going to be spotted, then throw it out. But over towards bottom lane, Anba is completely spotted out. He is completely stuck in the trees as well. He'll dodge the ice path somehow, but he is surrounded by one too many enemy heroes, and Relax going to struggle to take him down. Here comes the Spiderling army. They're going to try to go for Spartan, but I don't really think that's going to get much traction. It's over towards mid, where the rest of DT are going to try to make a play. Fortification is there. Arc going to jump in with Chronosphere. This time reserved for Skanks. There is going to be a mech there, and it will maybe be enough to save Skanks. Not with the Thunder God's Wrath. That's going to claim the kill for General. And meantime, Spartan's going to relocate in. Omni Slash is there, being split between 2, though. Bogdan might go down. He will. One more right click from Easier. Now with Mask Madness active. Relax going to chase forward for General. He has a Yule Scepter, and he will use that now, trying to get into an angle where he's going to TP you out, but I don't really think that's going to work. He's going to kill off the healing ward. Here comes Too Easy, helping out the Zeus a little bit. Relax should be a-okay just to teleport out of there after spinning. Tower was destroyed by the Dire after all is said and done. A 2 for 2 plus tower destruction. DT are going to be more than happy with that one.
Yeah, that Yule's by General was definitely what saved the day there. Kept the Mask of Madness duration in the air and not useful for the LC side, and they didn't get the kill, which was what they were hoping for, but you know, just being able to spin out of there is fine for the Juggernaut. And in terms of the trading, like, losing the Brood again, like, that's not a good sign for her. I mean, so, like, they can deal with the split push. She can really not look to push the high ground. And, like, she didn't go for, you know, Necro 3 or anything like that. The Orchid, I haven't really seen the Orchid be effective at all. So
I don't think it's been used yet.
Yeah,
so,
I haven't seen it used at all either.
I mean, that might be because Broodmother just is deciding to go towards mid lane and fight because she has to. It might just be that LC are not throwing one hero randomly onto the bottom lane anymore, so Broodmother just simply does not have the chance to use it. Either way, right now, until Orchid is actually used, it's a huge ticket item that is doing literally nothing for her. So all those kills, all that CS from Broodmother, not really helping her yet. And for LC, they're still doing okay in this game, though. It does seem like they don't have any real control of it. It's the Faceless Void who's calling all the shots. Whoever he Chronospheres is probably going to die. Like, even if he himself can't do it with AA and Zeus right behind him, that target is probably going to go down. So DT's still in a very comfortable position right now. It should be a matter of time before Roshan is on the table for either side. It's going to be hard for LC to get in there and be safe while doing it because there is so much vision with now Broodmother webs and Ancient Apparition and Zeus, all these things that DT can do to get vision, but soon enough Roshan is going to be a priority. But it looks like LC instead, they want to go for a top lane push. They have Blink BKB mech on the Shadow Fiend. He's pretty much ready to go right now. However, General, he has an Invis rune. He's going to
Why
Be
would
fine.
he
He
do
has a
that?
4-staff and Yule Scepter. This guy is fast. And it
I
looks
don't know
like
why
DT
he
are
broke
gonna
his
be
own
okay.
invis though. He could have scouted out some more people. That was weird. He wasn't in range of the Sentry Ward either, but like I guess just get a little bit harassed onto the IO. I mean, I would have liked it if you could have just kept that invis on for a little bit longer and scouted out this top lane potential push. But,
Yeah, it's a little bit weird. Maybe he thinks we have a Broodmother on our team. They might have a gem by now, but or any sort of detection if I let my presence be known. But it's a safe play for general, and it looks like it's not going to matter too much in the end, just because LC decided not to go for the whole push. It's actually Skanks to teleport down to the bottom lane, setting a trap for the Broodmother. I don't think this is going to work out. It seems like he has auto attack on, so if he auto attacks right now, then he is 100% screwed. He sees Anba.
Just press S, that's all. He's fine.
Can he get this kill? Here comes the relocate, but Anba's way too quick. Blink forward from Madra. They land the dust on him. Ice Path, and this Brood is dead. Finger of Death. There it is. With Magpire as well. That's a kill. Where are they going to relocate back to? That's the question. It's just going to be Spartan. It looks like it's going to be up towards top, right into a lightning bolt. He's going to tether away plus TP. Yule Scepter will cancel that. Now the IO is doomed to fall. And that's just going to be 1-for-1, but still a 1-for-1 that LC are more than happy to make.
Yep. The exchange is in their favor too, so at any point, if you kill a Broodmother, you take that kill. No problem. So I mean, Amba really needs to think about pushing on the lane. Like, you got to stop going bonds. What, the third time he's died down here? So
at this point, it's just too predictable.
It's kind of good space creation at least. Like, Ark has been getting a ton of farm. He's almost got his BKB. So I mean, he's fulfilling that role at least. But I mean, late game Broodmother isn't the best hero, so we'll have to see. In the top lane, Yule's Macropyre is not available just yet. Brogdon's going to take a bunch of damage. The Omni Slash comes in, but there's the Yule's into effect from the Zeus. He does come back down into 2 hits, and oh, they pop the Thunder God's Wrath, but a spin nicely played by Relax. They're going to be able to pick up Bogdan, and they hold off the kill on tier 1. They can deny this too, so well played by LC.
Man, that's just so weird seeing Juggernaut just Omni Slash a Cyclone. Like, I don't even know how that works.
I feel like it should actually just stop the ultimate wholeheartedly, but at the same point, I feel like that would be really broken because, you know, everybody would just pick up Yules.
Yeah, it's supposed to work like that, just so that if your target gets Cyclone, you could still jump to something else.
Yeah.
You still have an Omni Slash, but yeah, I'm actually pretty sure it used to be if you just Yules yourself, it would just stop, and that was incredibly infuriating for Juggernaut players. I can understand why it's working like that, but either way, DT, they blow most of their skills on a Magic Immune hero, and that's never really what you want. Omni Slash at this point is Aghanimed up, and soon it's going to be level 16 as well. LC, they did manage to take care of that top lane tower. Juggernaut going to deny that one away from DT. And LC, I think they're now just going to transition this into a real long haul kind of game. Juggernaut and Shadow Fiend both more than capable of doing that. Of course, Jakiro does fall off quite a bit. It's going to be a little bit more of a toss-up as to who has the late game power. Faceless Void still is getting a hell of a lot of farm, and right now LC, they don't really have that many great ways of dealing with him aside from Hex him and Omni Slash him, hope for the best, but Madra, well, he's going to dodge death for now. Ancient Apparition is closing in pretty quickly on his own Aghanim Scepter, and we've already talked about how good the Ice Blast is up against the LC heroes.
Yep, and I mean, one good Ice Blast can turn a whole fight around, and he's halfway to his Aghanim Scepter too, so he's getting levels, he's finding some farm in between lanes, so he's quietly working his way up to being a huge threat. He's only 2-1-3. He hasn't really died, he's been just staying very silent. I mean, like, this is what you want to be as an AA, like finding a rough 30 minute, a sub 30 minute Ags would be really nice for him since he did go for Hanamitis, so we'll see what happens there. Pings onto Roshan again, and I mean, at this point, Ark could solo Roshan, so that's a real threat for LC to think about.
Well, Relax is invisible right now, and it seems like DT don't know about this.
Oh, Scout.
That could have been really bad.
Yeah, that would have been horrible.
Relax does not know that he was in that much trouble, so he's going to back off for now, but it seems like DT, they are positioning themselves in such a way that they are going to want to go for Roshan.
Blink forward, Yules, counter Yules coming in from General. No, he gets stunned up. Lots of damage coming through, and Chronosphere actually comes in on the side into Kaiser. Oh god, will he actually fall? No, the Omni Slash and the Spike doing so much damage there. They lose the Void, they lose the Zeus, and maybe gonna lose more here. Anba gonna get revealed up there by the Dust. He's gonna get hit by the Ice Path too, and oh, that is a dead spider. Goodbye. Madara getting himself a killing spree, and that is gonna be a tier 2 and maybe even a high ground break from LC. That was a huge fight for them. That went horribly wrong.
Alright, again, that is exactly not the plan for DT, and that is once again Spartan, the IO, just showing off his plays right now, saving so many heroes on his team so many times, and also having those relocates to be used aggressively as well. Saved Keezer's ass there, and he still has the mech active right now with 3 heroes dead from DT, LC. They can go for a high ground push, maybe take a tier 3 tower, or just go for Roshan, and look at that, there is a magical blue rune in the bottom river, so if they do go for Roshan, it looks like they will. It will fall mighty quick. DT, they only have buyback in the Zeus, and they won't use it for this. This looks like it's going to be a clean Roshan kill for LC, although DT, they can mobilize pretty quickly, having a bottom lane tier 2 available to them. Roshan is going to fall a little bit too fast for them, so LC, they take a 3 for O, they take the Chronosphere out of the question, and they grab Roshan. A huge series of wins for them. Now they're going to smoke up and look for more. If they catch anyone here, that could be really bad for DT having no Chronosphere.
Look at that. Relax is like, smoke up, blink over the wall, and I have Aegis now. I am not afraid of anything. I'm just going to Omni Slash everybody down. But, jeez. Now they got the gem, too. Oh, God. Poor Amba. He's not going to be able to do anything. So, they're all smoked up. They're just waiting for somebody to extend. General just needs to pop out of the trees, and he is dead. Smoke breaks. They know now. Uh-oh. Pings on a General. They blink forward. Relax. Uh-oh. Omni Slash comes in, but there's the Yules. Super slowed down. He'll come down and take some damage, and he'll fall to the Omni Slash in the end. They even put Requiem of Souls, too. Well, I don't know about that, but that tier 2 is free, and the Zeus is dead, and LC, good comeback, at least.
And you start the Omni Slash before the Yule Scepter, you're slashing during the Yule Scepter, and then you still kill him off after the Yule Scepter. That's an Aghanim Scepter Juggernaut for you right there, and he'll take down the Zeus. That means no more magical damage, or a lot less magical damage for this upcoming push. They'll take down the tier 2 tower as well, still having the Aegis. They don't have their big cooldowns, but Anba, he's in the corner right now, and he is so close to being revealed. Now they know exactly where he is. Can they actually follow up? It looks like they won't be able to, but relax. He's not taking any damage from this tower, and Arc, he's looking for a Chronosphere opening. He's not going to find it. Did they catch the Broodmother? It looks like they have. Broodmother is doomed to fall. Finger of Death will take her down. In the meantime, Relax, still on the front lines, killing off the tier 3 tower, still has that Aegis. No one is doing anything to him. He doesn't have that much mana, but if they do want to jump in, he's going to have the Aegis if things really hit the fan. Arc's going to jump in, getting a nice 3-man Chronosphere. Where's the follow-up? Modder taking quite a bit of damage, but the SF gets relocated out once again, relaxing a lot of damage, but that's what the Aegis is for. He's going to burn it right away. Keezer does not have the mech available, but he still has a BKB. Skank's going to get in with the Impale onto Bogdan. Keezer going to lay into him as Relax gets right back into the fight, though into the air he goes. Can't really do that much. Omni Slash is there, though. Will kill no one, actually, as the Face of Void barely makes it out alive. DT, they have to heal up. They have no Chronosphere, and Keezer's still at full HP. They're going to lose the melee racks here, and they might even lose a little bit more than that. Relaxing the spin is going to think about going for the range, think about backing off. Gonna split his attention. Either way, Keezer and BKB now is gonna go to town. Impale flies out, hitting the General, and with a couple more right clicks, Ray's gonna miss actually, but blink forward, couple more right clicks, actually will not get the kill. Here comes Arc with the bashing. Keezer will get that kill with the Raze in the end, but he's probably going to lose his life right now, especially with the multicast coming out. Death Requiem comes out, forcing out a whole bunch of DT heroes to back off, but you know what? Even though LC loses Jakiro, even though they lose Shadow Fiend and the Aegis, they get what they came for, and that's the melee racks. I think LC are gonna be happy with how that went.
They should be very happy. And now there's a Basher picked up too from Juggernaut, so that's going to be another relevant threat. And jeez, what a turn of events. I mean, DT were in a really good spot with this Brood, but then as soon as they were like, all right, we're done with this shit. We're gonna buy Vision. We're gonna reveal her up and just take her down. She became nothing. She's level 16. She's still sitting on the Orchid Soul Ring trying to get a BKB, but at this point, I don't think the BKB is going to help her all too much. So, I mean, a blink into a Hex, especially since they still have the gem, is always a relevant threat to any hero from any side or any team. So we'll see. I mean, it's kind of on Skanks right now too. Like he's been playing a phenomenal game here on the line. His fingers have been pretty good, and like it is hard for DC to come back. Like if I'm looking at the graph right now, like LC are 10,000 ahead in XP, and then 7,500 on gold. So they're doing really well.
And it's sometimes easy to oversee like how good these supports are playing. Lion has always been there with long range impales. He's been dodging death most of the time. Definitely not as flashy as an IO, and I've been giving Spartan a lot of praise for his ability to save his allies and also get those relocate kills. But Lion has been, as you said, just kind of in the background, doing his job perfectly, and well, just want to make clear to everyone that he is also playing very well. LC firing off on all cylinders, and it turns out, I mean, once you stop feeding the Broodmother, she becomes a lot less of a problem. Who knew? Either way, bottom lane is going to be pushing in as DT. Their Broodmother probably going to just be on counter push duty for now. She can't really push the fastest against all of these super creeps, and in general, he's on top lane. It looks like he might get relocated upon Relax and Spartan, positioned in such a way to indicate that they want to go for someone right now. It might not be top lane, but either way, LC, they have free reign. They should be looking for this top tier 2 tower, as it's unlikely that DT are going to make a huge effort to defend it.
Yeah, I don't think they are. Jeez. At this point, I kind of want to say that like LC can blow their way into anything because this brute is not relevant at all. Like they should not be scared of her in the slightest. So we'll see. There's a Ghost Scepter for Bogdan too, so trying to stop what he can from the Omni Slash, but again, Omni Slash follows Yules. It'll I believe it stops the Ghost Scepter. I can't remember anymore of the interactions. Too early in the morning for me. But like they're smoking and trying to find something. This is a good call for them, but at the same point, everybody's on the opposite side of the map from LC. They don't have any wards to spot them out besides this one on the high grounds, well, it's tier 2 on the top, so they're not going to get anything out of the smoke.
It's a little bit unfortunate for DT that they invest all their heroes down there, and they're very quickly going to realize that it's top lane where they have to be. Skanks is not going to deward the observer on the high ground. Don't really think it matters too much, since Keyser at this point with packing the butterfly is going to make short work out of this tier 2 tower. So as promised, LC will kill off the tower, and DT are not going to try very hard at defending it. In fact, they won't try hard at all. That's going to be the rest of the outer towers now down for DT. Do LC want to go for a high ground push? I think it would be a better idea just to sit back, farm a little bit more, and wait for Roshan. Grab the Aegis and then try to go for high ground push. Really, LC, they're not in too much of a rush. As you said, Broodmother is a lot less of a problem at this point. Like, she can no longer easily solo kill people. Oh, they're gonna find Arc, and he doesn't have time walk either.
He just accepts it. But whoa, what a Chronosphere actually coming through. Can they get the Hex? No. Oh my god, that's a heartbreaker. Well, he backtracked, I think, like 3 or 4 of the slashes. Oh my god.
That's more or less expected value, though, right? Like,
yeah.
So mathematically, Arc gets to survive. Unfortunately for DT, the cooldown of Omni Slash is just slightly lower than the cooldown of Chronosphere, and LC need the Omni Slash a lot less than DT need the Chronosphere. So off of that, they don't need Roshan. They know that the Chronosphere is down. That's the biggest threat, and they're going to go for the mid lane push. Hell, even if Chronosphere was up, they've been playing so well around it that they should be fine regardless. They're going to catch the Ogre with an Ice Path, do a lot of damage to Bogdan, spike from the low ground. Here comes Juggernaut, plus the Requiem. Bogdan is going to get 4-staffed out, plus the Ghost Scepter up. He is going to burn to the Jakiro. No, he's going to be just fine, barely though. There's Thunder God's Wrath killing off the Juggernaut. Keyser and Skank's going to get mech'd up, although mech coming out a little bit too late. Impale on 2, going to back off. Onba's going to take a Finger of Death, but that won't really do enough for lethal. Keyser going to blink right forward. Will kill off Broodmother 2 hits. Now going to go for the rest. 2-man Ice Path on Arc and Breezy. They are both going to fall, it looks like. Oh, there's one at least. Arc is going to burn the high ground. That's a double kill for the hero, as Juggernaut does buy back. Buyback is available for the Faceless Void, but even if he does buy out, what could he really do against this? This is looking like another set of racks, especially with General gonna get Yule Sceptered. He does have a Yule Scepter of his own, Force Staff as well, but it's too late for him. He's already dead. Zeus and Faceless Void now back into this fight. Fortification does go off. Arc has the Chronosphere in 10 seconds, but he needs it pretty much now, as they're going to try to do what they can. Keyser still has a Butterfly, though. They're going to try to bring down the Shadow Fiend, but with Isle right behind him, he's not taking that much damage. Blink forward for an Omni Slash will do nothing once again, although it will actually just do nothing. He's going to spin his way out of there. Arc has a Chronosphere. Does he want to use it on a Juggernaut? He really doesn't. DT, they hold their high ground, but they're bleeding gold right now.
Yeah, after those buybacks, they're down so much gold there. I mean, jeez. That's so sad for a Juggernaut to see the Ghost Scepter just completely deny you, and then you have like Yules deny you too. It's just not the day for a Juggernaut player. So we'll see them look to possibly re-engage here. They get the Yules, and there's a Ghost Scepter pop. There's an actual 2-man Chronosphere onto Relax and a Madara. So a lot of damage comes in. The relocate actually doesn't go into Relax. It only goes into Madara, so it's prioritizing the Jakiro more since the Juggernaut bought back. Nice 3-man Ice Pass. Can they turn this one around? Macropyre doing so much damage. A blink away comes in. Onbuzz is sustaining, but it's not enough. Does get that spawn Spiderling out in the end, though, and picks up the kill on the Lions. So a 2-for-2 exchange, but the Zeus had bought back prior to this. So, I mean, if they kill the Void, that's pretty much game. I mean, they're going to lose a set of racks, so.
It is still 3 versus 3 right now, so DT, they have a chance at defending it, but with no Chronosphere, that's so difficult. Like, even if they had the Chronosphere, you're going to have to go up against Shadow Fiend with so much backup. Here comes another Ice Blast, which will connect with the chilling effect onto everyone, but no damage. Keezer can take a multicast straight to the face, but they're working on the melee rack, so they will take it down. Now Keezer going to try to make a retreat. The Veil's going to connect onto everyone, but it won't really do enough to anyone. Bogdan might be chasing a little bit too far forward. He's going to get a Fire Blast out. Requiem is going to next to nothing, but it will be enough to chase down Bogdan anyway, especially with that Ice Path connecting double raise with the Ghost Scepter amplification. Keezer's going to grab another one. Now it's a 2 for 3, or 2 versus 3, if LC want to go for a little bit more, but it looks like, once again, they get what they came for. Shadow Fiend has 7,000 freaking gold. That's a clean retreat for LC. They get 2 sets of melee Raxes right now. They're looking so good moving forward.
Fine, Rapier. Do it, Kaiser. Do it.
Do it?
Do
Is
it.
he doing it?
Fine.
Oh.
He's not doing it.
Double Ultimate Orb doesn't build into Rapier. I'm disappointed.
Whatever. What a loser. Jeez. Alright, so it'll be about 15 more, or 30 more seconds till Roshan's back up too, so. I mean, 2 melee racks down, breaking tier 3 up in the on the top lane shouldn't be too hard for the LC side. I mean, these fights are all sorts of janky and all over the place, but it looks like LC can just brute force their way through it now. Even with Chronosphere coming through, the positioning from Spartan has just been way too good. His relocates have been really what's kind of turning around these fights and just making Arc kind of a little sad, seeing as how he can't really fully follow through with the Chronosphere as long as the IO isn't inside of it or dead. So.
And yeah, IO has pretty much never been inside the Chronosphere or dead when the Chronosphere has dropped. So if you land a X-Man Chronosphere, you're always going to have X-1 targets, since the IO is always going to get someone out. So it's tough times for DT for sure. It looks like LC, actually, they're going to go for a bottom lane push, even though Roshan is up right now. Guess they're just going to try to apply even pressure everywhere, because why the hell not? They have a Shadow Fiend who is amazingly stacked right now with 2,700 HP. He is now probably the most difficult hero to kill. Maybe Juggernaut with Magic Immunity a little bit more so, but I don't know. It's either way, LC going to be pushing everything, just buying space for this Roshan. And now that they know that Roshan is up, everyone and their mom is going to be blinking in there, and it's going to be spotted out. But I honestly don't know if DT can do much about this aside from throw a couple of Ice Blasts. They are Aghanims, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. Skank's actually dropping very low. He's in a lot of trouble, actually. He might be the casualty, because here comes the Spiderlings. Skanks, no, you have a gem.
Yule's countered, okay, but Thundergod's Wrath is committed, and they do pick up the kill. Now, Amba's going to chase down onto Madara, and can he get the slows? Yes, he can. Auto attacks, web dropped, but in the back, we do have the freaking Shadow Fiend just destroying the AA. Omni Slash comes through, Bogdan able to pop the Ghost Scepter, and actually force staff himself away. Kaiser's beating down with the Doombringer, Amba's beating down to him, though. Requiem of Souls is coming through, and Amba has no way to stop that. He does get into some stealth there in the web, so he's able to stay alive. But in the meantime, those super groups are doing work in the base. Arc is going to be able to survive, just barely. No backtrack on the last hit, so Wicked Sick comes in from Kaiser. And Bogdan's still toying around relax there. And Amba coming in, dropping a web, spinning, and he'll be able to get out of there. Amba's got to be careful, though. And the blink out comes in from the Juggernaut. So he stays alive. They lose our range racks up top and an effigy. And still looking to fight. Kaiser coming in. Look at all this damage he's doing. Pops the mech to help out Madara. He's trying to focus somebody down, gets silenced up, and he's taking so much damage. But that health, and they pop the the pipe as well, but it's not enough to keep him alive. General's able to pick up the kill, but on the high ground he goes with that Force Staff, and there's a ward there. He's going to Yules and TP out, as it looks like he will be able to get out of it. The Ice Blast isn't, not the Ice Blast, the Ice Path isn't in time, but the Juggernaut from Relax does pick up the kill on the Ogre, so finally able to take him down. Ice Blast, Relax is like, oh, god damn it, but he should be able to kill the Roshan once the Ice Blast is faded.
Or they're not going to go for Roshan.
Push tier 3 up top, sure.
Yeah, just go top. I mean, that's also pretty good. You don't have to face the Void or Broodmother to deal with, so Keezer is 100% in control right now. Madra's going to throw an Ice Path away of too easy. Blink forward from Keezer in the BKB. He's going to force the Ghost Scepter out from Bogdan rather early. It's going to be General to get impaled. Finger of Death, not needed, but sure, why the hell not? Bogdan now is going to get hexed up. Ice Path. Madra has been, I just want to say, on top of those paths, and Relax also going to jump to the back lines. Omni Slash to assassinate the last one. Everyone in DT is dead. And that is going to be GG. London Conspiracy take it 2-0 over DT, knocking DT down to the lower bracket.
Yeah, that was really well played, I gotta say. From LC, good comeback, not wavering, and just abusing the fact that they could make the Broodmother not a relevant late game threat. Just keep killing her, that's all you gotta do, and carry TPs and go to the next lane. So, well played, and Wadara's off-lane Jakiro worked out pretty well. And, I mean, props to these supports, man. Skanks and Spartan really, really keeping the game together. I gotta say, they're warding, and then the relocates from Spartan just on point to say the least.
Alright guys, so congrats to LC. They're going to move forward in the winner's bracket. This is going to be it for right now. There is another best of 3 happening, I believe, in an hour, 15 minutes. Might keep the stream up, might not, who knows. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed the cast. If you did, be sure to hit that follow button. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook as well. It's boththose.com/HeflaTV. The VODs will be up on youtube.com/HeflaMoke soon enough. I guess after the next best of 3, which I'm trying to look up right now, it is going to be Duza vs. House of Gamers. So that one should also be good. I'm Mike Loris. You can follow me at Mike Loris. He's eGadcast, casting for the first time here on HeflaTV. So we hope you enjoyed the new blood here. You find him at eGadcasts. Anything else to say before we wrap up this best of 3?
No, it was fun. Some good tier 2 Dota. That's all I gotta say.
Alright guys, we'll catch you later in about an hour for the next set. But until then, GG.